Oh yeah, I seen her. I can see the reflection in my computer screen over there. The computer's off, but I seen somebody walk by. Yeah, I came in and then I forgot I wanted to check with Charlie because he's out there trimming some, grass. And I had said something to him the other day because me and him were going to go to Orville tonight to the food pantry thing this church over there is called the Orville Christian Church. The last Monday of every month they have a food pantry where they give away a bunch of food. And so I went over and asked him if he still wanted to go tonight, and he said no, he can't because his daughter, he's babysitting her grandchildren, and they won't be leaving until tomorrow, so he can't go with me. So I'll be going by myself. Be going to the Orville Church to the food pantry. I'll be leaving at 4:15, which will be 4:15 in the afternoon, but that's 4:15 in the morning for you. So you'll probably be sound asleep. Because the thing is they start at 5:30 and it goes from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. And are you recording me right now? Is that why you called me on the other? Of course, I mean my camera is still in the window, so now I need to move it inside. Or do you want me to leave it where it's at? Do you want me to leave the camera in the window? You just turn it around. You want me to leave it in the window or move it inside? It's okay where it is? Okay. Okie dokie. I will leave it right where it is then. Nah. Are you ready to go back to sleep? No? You're up for a while? Okay. Well, I stopped at, there's a grocery store in Medina where I went and gave plasma, and they didn't bruise my arm. And the girl that did it, it's a black girl. Her name is Sash, Sash, Sash. Well, she got it on the very first. She stuck the needle in, never had to move it or nothing, and I worked it perfectly fine. So I'll be able to use my same arm, the right arm, on Friday because it's not bruised. So that's good. So when I go back Friday, and actually I got up there this morning and they weren't busy at all. When I got there, there were 5, 6, 7, 8. There was 8 people already in the bed things, with the needle in their arms. So, and while I was there for from the time they put the needle in until I walked out. It was like 35 minutes, and the whole time nobody else came in after me, and everybody else that was already there were gone. So I was the last one to leave, and there was nobody else. Nobody else had showed up yet. So when I went, when I got there, it was very, very slow, and I had never ever seen it so slow. So I don't know, maybe it was because I went so early in the morning. I don't know. But I figured, well, I'm gonna go get it done because, like I said, I'm planning on going to that Orville church for the food pantry thing tonight, and I'll be leaving at 4:15 to go to that, and I didn't want to wait until 1 or 2 in the afternoon to go up to give plasma, because then I'd have to hurry back and then have to leave to go to Orville. So I figured, I'll just go this morning. That way I've got, it's only 11 o'clock and I got like over 5 hours before I'll be leaving to go to the food pantry. So I stopped at the store over in Orville and I got myself a big old container about that big of chili. It's sitting over there on my counter. I gotta open it up. So I'm gonna sit here and eat some chili. And I got some bananas and I got some little, cherry tomatoes. And what else did I get? What else did I get? Uh, Cherry tomatoes, bananas, chili. I have to look in the bag. I forget what else I got. It's in the bag sitting over there on the counter. I'll have to go look. my, this is my container of chili. It's chili. Chili with beans. So I'm gonna be rooting and tooting tomorrow. Oh, I know what else I got. I got 2 cans of red kidney beans, so I can heat those up later on and mix them in with my rice. When I cook rice next time, I got chili beans, well not chili beans, but red kidney beans, so I can put them in with the rice. So that was the other thing. I knew I got something else, but I couldn't remember what it was. But chili, num num num. Mm. No, it's not spicy. No, it's hot because when I was taking it and taking the ladle and putting it in the cup and stuff, the steam that was coming off of it because it was so hot. It's not as hot now because it was like a 40-minute drive from where I give plasma to home, so it's cooled off a little bit. So, good, huh? I mean, it's got a little bit of a spice to it. That's probably because it's got chili powder in it, so it has a little bit of a spice to it. But it's not like any of the spicy food that you eat. It's nothing like that. So, did you eat? You always ask me when you're eating if I'm going to eat. Now I'm eating, so are you going to eat? Did you finish your cucumbers? I know you had part of one left. I don't know if you had finished it or not. Well, hon, I'll let you go get whatever food you're gonna go get. Hi, what you got? You got eggs? Oh, rice? Rice? Okay. Okay. So I got up and when I left to go up to Medina, I filled this thing all the way to the top with ice and then poured water on it. And when I came out, all and I was only inside for like maybe 50 minutes total. And when I came out, got in my car, all the ice was melted. That's how hot it was inside my car. Because it's supposed to get up to like 90 degrees here. And then tomorrow it's like 92. Then the next day is 94. And then the next day is supposed to be around 95. So all this week, today through like Friday or whatever, the high is supposed to be 90 or above every day. So I'm going to be experience what you have there all the time. You know, the really hot days, we're going to have that here. Oh, and when I got my water, I also got my crackers that I had in my cupboard. So I got my crackers for my chili, to eat with my chili. Yeah, don't eat no more chicken bones. Huh? I have no idea. All I know is that I filled it except for about that far from the top, and it was $5.99. So, I mean, they had one. They had a container that was even bigger than this one. I said, nah, I don't need that much. I mean, by the time I eat all this, boy, later on today and tomorrow at work, nobody better not be coming around me tomorrow. They'll be, they'll say, what died? I'll say, no, I didn't die. I had chili. Do what? Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw in like over in Europe or England or whatever and stuff that they were having a really bad heat wave over there, and right now we're having it. So the heat is supposed to be in 90 and above all this week, but then the heat index will be above 100. That's what it'll feel like is over 100 degrees. Yeah, what the winters? Oh yeah, the winters here are cold. Yeah, you'll like it here. And even even like this week, because they're supposed to be like 90 or above all this week. That is very rare for us. Even in the the hotter months and stuff, which is the hot months here are like July and August. And but these 90-degree days, we have a 90-degree day, every now and then, but we're going to have it every day this week of 90, 90 or above. And that's very rare for us. But in the wintertime, oh, you're going to love it. It's going to be so nice and cold here. You won't have to worry about all that heat. Actually, it gets so cold here in the wintertime that I actually have to turn my heat on in the apartment. That's how cold it gets. I very rarely turn my heat on. Very rare, even in the wintertime. I just sit here with I get my big blanket out of my one of the drawers over there and stuff, and I just cover up with this nice big heavy blanket in the wintertime. I just cover up all the way up to here, and I tuck it over my arms and stuff. And same thing when I'm in bed. I just the only thing that's exposed is from here to here. That's it. And sometimes I'll be sitting here in my chair and I'll take my blanket and I'll throw it back over the back of the chair and stuff. And, so it's not actually, covering my, it's over my face. It covers everything, but it's not like hanging it on the front of my face. Because I put it up over the top and then, and it goes down over my feet and stuff. So, and I'll just sit here and I'll go to sleep. In the wintertime, I'll just be completely covered up, and I'll just sit here and go to sleep. What month? Well, winter. What winter doesn't officially start until like around the 22nd or so of December, but we normally have cold weather and snow before that. Like usually it's like sometime after Thanksgiving, and then like which is the end of November and going into December, and it usually stays cold up until like late March, early April. When we'll have there's times that we'll have snow on the ground into April, and out west in the higher mountains out west like the Rocky Mountains and stuff, they were calling for up to like just when it was yesterday or today in the upper elevations, the high mountains out in the Rocky Mountains, they were calling for like a foot of snow out there right now, and it's summertime. But out there, in the high mountains and stuff, it stays cold because there's mountains where the snow never melts off of the top of them. It's always you can just see them everywhere, and you can see the snow, in the upper parts of the mountain. Yeah. So, but yeah, out west they were calling for snow. It was either yesterday or today. They were calling for like up to a foot of snow in the in the higher mountains. Mm-hmm. You'll be like that. Well, I just sit around in my shorts all the time. Majority of the time, I just sit around in my shorts when I'm just sitting here, watching TV, or if I'm on the computer, I just sit around in my shorts. So, what about what time? Yeah. Well, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, I have a jacket. It's hanging right over there behind my door that I have. There's like a hook, and I need to just hang it up in my closet because I ain't going to be wearing it now until like when it gets cold out, like December or whatever. But when I come home from work in the wintertime, I just hang it up there behind my door, and that way, and when I get ready to leave the next day to go to work or whatever, I put it on, go to work, and then I at work they're in the break room. Everybody that works there have they have like their own locker and stuff, and there's a between the where the lockers go like six high and then across and then six down, and then between you know underneath the top row of lockers there's a, a rod where people that have all the coat hangers and stuff on it, so people that wear their coats in, they can just hang them up in the break room. So, and of course, see, now, like I told you, I don't believe in superstition or nothing like that. The locker I use at work that has my lock on it is number 13. The number on it is 13 because I don't believe in all that superstition stuff. So 13 doesn't bother me. It's just a number. So I'm holding my chili with the one hand. I can't give you two thumbs up unless I set this down. Then I can do it. But so I'm just holding it. I'm just holding my chili, so I can only give you one thumb up. Huh? Yeah, it's got beans in it. Yeah, it's chili with beans. So that's why I was saying tomorrow at work, nobody better not be coming around me. You, I'll be a rooting and tooting tomorrow. And see, there's so many different foods that, affect me like that. Beans do, cabbage does, eggs, all that kind of stuff, beans, eggs, cabbage, it all affects me the same way. No, yeah, I need uh, I need to get a paper towel so I can clean my mouth off. Yeah, I have a little trash can sitting underneath my table here, and I have my paper towel sitting next to the trash can, and then I've got a little light. It's a lantern, but see, it's a lantern, and I can turn the see, it's a light. So I just have it sitting here. That way, if there's a bad storm or whatever, and the power goes out, I can just set this up here and turn it on. That way, at least I got a light, you know, and it just runs on batteries and stuff. And I haven't used it. I think since I've been here, I got this in Michigan, and since I've been here, um, I think I've only used it one time. So it just sits here beside, next to down here underneath the table and stuff. It's just sitting down there, and that way, if I ever need it, right now it's covered with dust because I never use it. It just sits there and collects dust. I need to plug my phone in. It's it's at 32% right now. So, so I just plug it in while I'm talking. Do what? Yep. What about the lamp? And then of course on the table I have my light. When I turn it on, you really can't tell because it's so bright. It's nice and bright outside. So I got my light on right now, but you can't even tell it. You turn it off, on, off. So you can't even tell it right now because it's bright enough outside. So, oh yeah, when I bought that lantern thing, yeah, I just bought it at a dollar store up in Michigan. It was like I think it was like $1.50. So it wasn't that expensive, but it's just something that I have sitting there in case I need it. If I'm sitting here in the dark or whatever, if the power goes out, then I can just if I gotta go to the CR or whatever, I can just turn it on and take it with me. Because yeah, I got a night light in the bathroom in the CR. I got a night light that's plugged in, and when I turn the light on, the night light goes off. But when I turn the light on, that's above the sink, the mirror, then when I turn the light off, then the night light comes back on. So that way, when I get up in the middle of the night, I don't have to turn any lights on. I just, I can walk over there and go into the CR and go to the bathroom. Then come back out, go back to sleep. So, do what? What I'm eating? Oh, yeah, no. Actually, I bought two of them of the popcorn. One's still in my trunk. I brought one in yesterday when I came home from work, and the other one's still in the trunk. I figured I'll just leave it there until I get done eating this one, then I'll bring the other one in. Because that way I won't sit here and just eat it. Then, I can just, once this bag of popcorn's gone, then I will bring the other one in. How many what? I only bought this one. I only bought this one. I just filled it, I filled it up to about that far from the top. And I mean, I could have put a little bit more in it because the price is the same no matter if I only filled it half full or if I filled it all the way, the price would have been the same. So when I got out to my car, I have a divider thing in my trunk, and this fit down in it perfectly, so I didn't have to worry about it wobbling around or anything while I was driving home. That way, it just stayed stationary, and then I carried it in when I came in. Then. Sucker. Huh? Yeah, well, they're crackers. They're saltine crackers. So, and this is the last of what I have in my cupboard. So I'm trying to get it in there, but you're not taking it. This is why I got a paper towel, because you can see there's a little bit of brownness on it from where I wiped my lips off. I gotta wipe my lips off before I kiss you. Stretching your legs out. Yeah, I don't see how you can sit on your legs like you do all the time. If I tried to do that, my legs would be so sore. Because you sit on them, you sit on your legs, it seems like forever. Is that your phone ringing or somebody else? Oh, somebody else? I heard the phone ringing. Okay. See you when you get back. Yeah, I could barely see you because there was two bright lights shining, so I could see you in between them, but not very well. Yeah. Um, I never see you when you're in there, so you never take me with you to the CR during the daylight hours. So I never see you. I just hear your voice and that's it. Okay, hold on. Do what? Yep. Oh, I feel better now. didn't mean to make. I didn't mean to get it all over you. Do what? Ball board? What? I can the bowl? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's disposable. Yeah. I just now that I'm done, I just throw it over there in my trash. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like it's not it's it's a cup that's made for a hot product like chili. They had like chicken noodle soup there, and um, potato soup, and so it's specially made for hot products and stuff. So it won't you don't have to worry about it melting or anything like that. But yeah, it's just disposable. I just I just I just throw it in the trash over there, and because Wednesday is trash pickup day for here, so I will set my trash out Wednesday morning before I go to work. Yeah, it's colder than the dairy air, is it? Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you know, you know, when I'm there and stuff, and then once you're here, I mean, it'll probably be a whole new experience for you to take warm showers, not real hot, but warm showers, and to enjoy the cold weather, for months, months at a time and stuff, and to actually be able to, and actually to be able to actually sleep somewhere where you won't have to be so, cramped, you know, Hello, I'm watching your video again. Uh, I signed into my other account, and I'm not listening to it, but as long as I don't click on it, what you say is coming up in subtitles on there. So as long as I don't, click on it to listen to it, I can read what you're saying. The subtitles are on there. So, no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh. Well, I shut it down that way I can concentrate on you. I watched all of them so far. I mean, you haven't posted anything today, but but you know, but I watched everything that you posted so far from the beginning to the end. Why are you why are you acting like you're embarrassed? You're happy? I wouldn't know why. I have no idea why you would be so happy. Because of me? What did I do? I know, hon. I know. Mm, 11:45, actually 11:47, but it's close enough to 11:45. I go by 5 minute increments. So it's 11:47, but I say 11:45. If it was 11:51, I'd say it's 11:50. I just go by every 5 minutes. I don't, I don't go by the, 1, 2, 3, minutes in between. I just think, it's close enough. Oh, we need some more of your cucumber. Right. Yeah. Well, at least when I'm there, at least we'll have a refrigerator, where we'll be staying at. At least there'll be one in the room. So yeah, it was probably just dislocated. Well, and like I said, you know, definitely. I mean, it'd be nice if I could get it done before, but definitely when you're here, we'll get you to a doctor and everything, get everything all checked out, and you can tip top shape. I know you're listening. I'll stop talking so you can listen. See, you weren't listening. You were listening to them. That's why I said I'll stop talking because you're listening. So that's what I said. Yeah, yeah. Well. Uh huh. Well, this here, nothing. This here, here's everything. So I just have to live with it. I can only hear out of one ear. So, but that's the way it is. Oh, it's fine. There's 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 no bruise at all on my right arm, which is the one I used today. My right arm. There's all there is just a little spot where where she stuck the needle in. But that's all there is. It's just that little tiny spot where the needle actually went through the skin. But and my left arm, it has just a tiny little yellow mark yet. But so I could only use my right arm today because it was clear, and my left arm still had just a tiny little yellow spot, so I couldn't use it. But I'll continue to use my right arm every time as long as they don't bruise me. Then if they bruise me, then I've got my left arm that I can use. But like I said, the girl that did it today, stuck it in there one time, didn't have to move it around or anything. She found the vein as soon as she stuck it in. So it was a good day today. They didn't bruise me. Yeah, my left arm. Yeah. What about my left arm? What about it? Yeah, there's just a tiny little yellow spot yet, and by Friday it will be gone because it's almost gone now. But see, I never went up, for the past 2 weeks in a row because I had, marks on both arms. So I figured I'm not going to drive all the way up there just for them to tell me, nope, can't donate. Then have to drive all the way back. So that's why I never went the past 2 weeks because I knew I wouldn't be able to donate. So, but today I got to donate finally. Yeah, they used my right arm today. They couldn't use my left because there was still just a tiny little yellow spot yet. No, no, the bruise was all gone. And when the bruise disappears, the final stage is the skin turns yellow, and then that means it's almost completely healed and clear. So it bruises, and then eventually the bruise disappears, and then the skin turns yellow at that spot where the bruise was. It turns yellow, and then once that yellow disappears, then it's completely clear. But but couldn't use my left arm because, like I said, there was just a tiny little spot that was still yellow, and probably by tomorrow it would be clear. I mean, I'm eligible to go back come Wednesday because I went today, and there has to be one day in between your two visits in a week's time. But I normally go on my days off, Monday and Friday. So it makes it easier on me because I don't have to work, then come home and change clothes, and then drive up there. I'm just too tired I'm too sore to go on the days that I work. So that's why I go on Monday and Friday. And um, now tomorrow I work from seven to midnight your time. That's my schedule tomorrow. But then Wednesday I start at 6 in the morning, and I'm scheduled from six in the evening your time to 2 a.m. in the morning your time. So Wednesday I'm scheduled 8 hours. Uh huh. Yep. Yeah. So I'll be there 8 hours Wednesday. I'm there 5 hours tomorrow, 7 to midnight your time. That's 5 hours. And then Wednesday is six in the evening your time to 2 in the morning your time. So that's 8 hours. And then Thursday I'm scheduled 5 hours from 7 in the morning to midnight your time, or 7 at night to midnight your time on Thursday. Then off Friday, and then Saturday I'm scheduled. I know Saturday I start at 7 in the morning, and I don't know if I work until noon or midnight or 1 a.m. on Saturday. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the schedule when I get to work tomorrow just to make sure. But I know what tomorrow's schedule is, and I know what Wednesday's schedule is. So it's 5 hours tomorrow and 8 hours on Wednesday. So I'm scheduled until, I might get out of there early Wednesday. I don't know. It depends on how much I get done, you know, because see, we'll get a produce delivery today, and then we won't get another produce delivery until Thursday. So you know, Wednesday should be a fairly easy day. So I may not have to be there until 2 in the morning. The problem is that I'm scheduled for 31 hours for the week. That's minus my 2 days off. So, that's 31 hours for Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, to get my 31 hours in for the week. Now, Saturday is a holiday because Saturday is the 4th of July. So that, and I'll be working Saturday. Normally, I very rarely do I work holidays. Once in a very while, like this year, the 4th of July falls on a day that I'm scheduled to work. So I'll be working Saturday, and their hours are shorter. I mean, they open at 9 in the morning, but they're only open until 6 o'clock in the evening. And they're normally open 9 to 9. So they're closing 3 hours early on the 4th. That way people can get out of there and go to wherever, to set off, fireworks and to have the celebration and everything. That way people can get off of work, at 6 o'clock on Saturday and then go and do whatever they're going to be doing. And actually, I had to take my phone with me and go up to where, I don't know, I think I can actually see the fireworks from here where they set them off at. It's a public, it's a like a park area thing, and it's where they set the fireworks off every year and stuff. And I think I'll be able to see them because once they shoot them up in the air and stuff before they, explode up in the air, I think I can see the fireworks from right here. So I will. So Saturday evening. Well, the problem is it would be 8:30, 9 o'clock at night here, which is 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning for you. And so you might be sleeping when the fireworks are going off here. I was going to say I could sit outside with my phone. So, and actually I probably have the camera in the window and turn it so you can actually see them on the camera too. But you'll probably be sleeping when they're going off, because it'll be somewhere around 9 between probably 9 and 9:30 at night here, which is 9 or 9:30 in the morning for you. So you'll probably be asleep when the fireworks here is going off for the 4th of July. So I'll just have to record it. Actually, what I can do is, if you're asleep, I will aim my camera, up so you can see them, and I'll record it. I'll sign in on my other phone and hit the record button so that it can record, and then you can play it back. And then you'll see the fireworks when you wake up. Because see, I can do that just like you record, like you're recording right now. So I can do the same thing. I can sign into into my camera on my phone, and just hit the record button just like you do, and record the fireworks for you. And then you can play it back, because it'll be, because what what you record, and all you do is just hit the record button. That's all you do, right? Like what you're doing right now is you just let me sign into my into it right and stuff. I mean, I'm not going to hit any buttons, stop your recording or anything like that. I ain't going to do that. But that's all you do when you're recording me. All you do is just hit the record button. That's all you do, right? So, come on, man. Oh, I hate these commercials, these advertisements. Yeah. So I just close it back out and try it again. There it is. Yeah, see that's what I'm seeing right now is you recording me. So and see it just went blank. I mean, it's gonna go to an advertisement. I mean, I didn't hit any buttons. It's just it goes to an advertisement. And then I gotta close it out. I just have to close it out and hit the button again to bring. See, now it came back up. So all you do when you're so all you do is in the like right here, yeah, right there is like the camera button. So that's like the record button. So all you do when you're starting, when you're getting ready to record, you just push that button, right? That's all you do. So that's all I'll have to do. Like Saturday evening when I can record the fireworks, and then you can watch it back, and then you can post it on YouTube. That way you can watch the fireworks later on after you get up. Then you can see, the fireworks celebration that happened here, and then you can post that on Facebook if you want. You don't have to, just if you want to. And not Facebook, but on YouTube. There, so there. Yeah. Into this again. So, yep, it's just, it's just me sitting there in my chair, showing you the camera, showing you the phone because it's recording on there that I'm showing it to you. So okay, I closed it out now, hon. So I shut it down that way. I don't want to accidentally hit a button to stop your recording or accidentally hit something I shouldn't have hit. So I just shut it down that way. I don't have to you know that way you don't have to worry about me stopping the recording or something like that. But like I said, Saturday evening, I will, if you're not up, I will turn the camera so that I can record the fireworks as they're going off, and then you can watch them back and you can post it on YouTube. When is the fireworks? They're Saturday evening, because Saturday is the 4th of July. So the fireworks will be, well, they usually don't start until about, dark time, which is, somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 to 9:15 is when it would be dark enough that, when they go up in up in the air and, explode and everything, so it's usually somewhere around 9:15 or something like that is about the time they would be starting, which would be 9 o'clock in the morning for you Sunday morning, because it would be 9 p.m. here Saturday night. So it would be 9 a.m. Sunday morning for you. So, but I figure you'll probably be asleep. So that's why I said, I'll record them and you can just watch them back when you get a chance. Well, I can record with my phone and I'll record just like you are right now on the camera. I can record also, and what I'll do is I'll just turn the camera so that it's facing up towards the sky about where the fireworks will be going off at, up in the sky. And then I can just hit that record button on my phone and it'll record just like you are doing right now. That way you can watch them back later on. But I'll also record it on my, on this phone. I'll take, the phone we're talking on, I will take it outside and I'll just, I'll take my white chair that I got sitting out there and I will just, I just sit down in my chair and so I can record, so I can watch the fireworks. Because the place where they set them off at is about, I say from here to there, it's about a mile and a half away. But when they shoot the fireworks up in the air, it's there's where I'm at, or where it's located at, is there's no like trees or anything that will be obstructing my view other than that one tree that's right out, right out here in the front yard. I mean, I'll probably have to move my chair a little bit so that I can, you know, um, so that I can, see it with my phone and stuff, and hopefully the camera will still catch them and stuff. The camera in the window. And actually, what I could probably do is I've got enough of the cord, that's hooked up to the camera that I can probably run the cord out through my front door and, and hang it like on that, where my flowers hanging at, because there's two hooks on that one rod, so I can just hang it right outside on that. Rather that way, you wouldn't even have to, wouldn't be recording through the window. It would actually be outside recording. I'll fix it. Here, there, it's fixed. Hon, you don't have to worry about that. I would never hit you. No, I just wouldn't do that. You would never ever have to worry about that. So now, if you want to hit yourself, go right ahead. But I won't do that. I may take your jaw and like, and then you're like, oh, I'm dead. Nah. Well, I finished my chili about a half an hour ago, so I give it until about, I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 o'clock, and they'll start working on me. It takes a little bit of time for it to go through your system and do its magic, and but it, even though, you know, that's the first time I've had chili in quite a while. I mean, last time I had chili, I actually made chili here, and but that's been like a month and a half, 2 months ago was the last time I had chili because I know how it affects me, so I don't eat it that often. But I can buy. They sell chili now, like in store. Well, we have it up where I work, Save a Lot. They have chili you can buy in the cans that's with beans or without beans. You can get it either. You can buy it either way. So I mean, I could buy cans of chili up there that have no beans in them. Then I wouldn't have to worry about that. But I like the beans. They help. I guess you'd say, but they help clean my system out. I guess is how you look at it. And actually, when I once it starts its work, um, I'll be I'll be more than tooting. Let's put it that way. I'll have to be in there sitting down. Was that for me? Okay, sweetie pie, honey buns, sweetheart, love of my life, my beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, adorable wife, now and forever. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. You're getting there. Yep, it's been smaller. Next door. Well, yeah, it's well, 12:15 in the morning there. I know. It just flies by when we're having so much fun, doesn't it? We just have so much fun. The time just flies by. Yeah. We gotta. We just gotta quit having so much fun. It's just It's you know. It just. We're just wasting our time. It just flies by. It's smaller and smaller. The time is getting smaller and smaller. And then when I leave to come back, we'll have to start like this and then we'll have to go, it's going to get bigger and farther apart once you know, have to leave and come back here. Then we have to reverse that to make it, because, we don't know how long it'll be until, we get the paperwork and everything done for you to come here. So, once we know that, then we can start, like, okay, it's this far and it's getting smaller and smaller. So it gets to the point where we're, that again. But eventually, hon, eventually it will happen. Huh? Yeah. And yeah, when I have to walk away from you at the airport, it's gonna really, really hurt. Both of us. It's gonna, and I know how it's going to affect both of us. I really do. And hopefully we won't have that breakdown in front of each other. But it probably will happen. But, Bless you. Christine guy. Here comes another one. Here, turn around, let me hit your back. I'll knock it out. Yep. There's times that I'll be sitting here, and if I, you know how I cough, I try not to cough too much, but sometimes I do, and sometimes I'll cough like it's a real deep cough, like where it's coming from down in my gut, coming out and stuff, and it's a real deep, hard cough, and then I'll start sneezing afterwards. I'll sneeze no less than 10 times in a row. I'll go, Achoo! Maybe 15 seconds later, Achoo! And I'll do that like 10 times in a row. Every time I have a real deep, hard cough, then afterwards, I know it's coming, and I'll be sitting here, and I'll feel the sneeze building up. And then it'll just, first one come, then I know, 10, 15 seconds later, I'm sneezing again. 15 seconds later, I sneeze again. And I'll do that like 10 times in a row. No, I'll do it like 10 sneeze, like 10 times in a row. Like maybe like about 15 seconds between each sneeze. And when I think I'm done, I'll be sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, I'm done. And maybe a minute later, I'll sneeze again. And then I know I'm done. That's the last one then. But yeah, when I have a deep, hard cough, I'll sneeze 10 times in a row. It never fails. Nah. No, I just figure, well, I'm here by myself. There's nobody else around, so I just go, Achoo! I figure there's nobody else around that's going to catch any germs while I'm sitting here by myself. So I don't cover my mouth or nothing. I figure, hey, I'm here by myself. So now that's the thing about that, the ears popping and stuff. No, it never affects my ears. Never. Nope. But like when you fly, you have to like swallow or chew, like chewing gum or something when you're flying, because you're at ground level, and within like 10 minutes you're way up there, like 14,000 feet up in the air, and the air pressure, even though the plane is pressurized, you can still feel it in your ears, the pressure that from that's being you know you know that's on the outside of the plane and stuff. You can feel it in your ears because of that being so high up in the air then. So you, like when you fly, you either got to swallow all the time until you get up to like the cruising level, which is 12 to 14,000 feet, whatever it's going to be flying at. As it then it stays at that level, till you're getting to almost to wherever you're going. Then it starts, then the plane starts coming down. But yeah, you either got to chew chewing gum or you got to constantly swallow so that you can, so that your ears, because if you don't, the pressure is going to build up, and it'll feel like your ears are about ready to just pop out. You're like, it'll feel if you don't swallow or chew chewing gum when you're flying, especially when you're flying, when the plane's going up before it levels off. If you don't, try and relieve that pressure that's building up, your ear, they won't, but it'll feel like your ears are about ready, like your eardrums are about ready to just explode inside of your head. That's the pressure you'll feel on them, on your eardrums. So that's why you always got to make sure that you're either chewing some chewing gum, so you're chewing and stuff, and or or you just like swallow, like just swallow, keep swallowing, even though you got nothing in your mouth, you just like swallow. Well, now they won't. The waitresses, the stewardesses and stuff, they can't come around until and offer people water or you know something to drink, whatever it is, until the captain has turned the seatbelt sign off, which means then the stewardesses can get up and serve the people, whatever they want to drink and stuff. But while the plane's climbing up in the air until it like levels off, even the stewardesses, they gotta stay in their seats, with the seatbelt fastened until the pilot has turned the seatbelt sign off. Then they can get up and serve the passengers. So and because of the restrictions and stuff, like after like here back in September of 2011 when those planes hit those the World Trade Centers and stuff and destroyed them and all that. There are so much restrictions on flying anymore. You can't just bring a bottle of water with you onto the plane. It's not allowed. You're not allowed to bring anything liquid like that onto the plane at all. The stewardesses, they can serve you water or tea or coffee or whatever, you know, and stuff, but you're not allowed to bring any kind of liquid on the plane with you. It's just not allowed because of the restrictions, because of what happened back in 2011, when the terrorists, hijacked those planes and flew into the World Trade Centers there in New York City and in the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. and stuff. It was after that the restrictions became they are enforcing stuff so strongly. And even today, when you're going through an airport, um, you have to take your shoes off as you're going through the metal detectors and stuff. Like when you're, because you have to take, if you got any coins or your belt or anything metal, you have to put them in a tray, that they, can scan or whatever, through the scanning machine. Then you walk through the thing, that detects if you got any kind of metal on you. And of course, like me, because the fact that I have my left knee being artificial, I've got a card that identifies, that I have metal in my left knee because of, the knee replacement that I had done. So when I fly, I'll have to make sure I have that with me so that I can show it to them, so that they can, scan, they can take their one thing and scan, and say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, he's got, metal inside of his knee, and I'll show them the card that verifies that I do, that I had, the knee replacement because there's metal inside my left knee, and that will set off the metal detectors at airports. So, but as long as I have that little card, and I'll have it in my billfold, and so anywhere that I have to walk through a metal detector, whether it's airports or like courthouses now, when you're going in, into a courthouse building and stuff, you know, nowadays they got them even in court buildings and any kind of official government office has these metal detectors you have to walk through. So And so, the fact that I got this artificial left knee, it sets off it sets off the metal detector. And I'm boring you to sleep again. You're yawning. Yep. You're about ready to go to bed. You're about ready to go back to sleep. No, I ain't gonna let you. No. You're not allowed to. You gotta stay up and you gotta talk to me. You gotta stay up all night long and talk to me. You gotta keep me company. No, hon. I wouldn't do that to you. You need to go. It ain't like you need your beauty sleep because you're already beautiful enough. So, but yeah, hon, I'll let you go back to sleep. And like I said, around about 4:15 is when I'm going to be leaving to go to, the church over in Orville for the food pantry thing. Which I figure because like I said, it starts at 5:30 and goes until 7 o'clock. So when I leave here at 4:15 and I get over there around 20 till 5, and I just get into a line of cars that's already there, and then when it starts at 5:30, then people start pulling. They get as they get food put in their car, then they leave, and the next car pulls up, and they get all whatever they're getting, and then they leave, and the next car pulls up, and so it starts at 5:30, and it'll be like 6:15 to 6:30 before I actually get what I'm getting, whatever they're going to be giving me and stuff, and then heading back over here. And it only takes like maybe 20 minutes to drive from where it's at back home. So, but yep, but if you wake up and it's like after 4:15, I won't be here. So just in case you wake up in the middle, in the middle of your sleeping and you turn on my camera or something and well, he's not there. Where is he? Well, I'm going to be gone to the church over in Orville for the food pantry thing to buy, get a bunch of food. So, and I get a lot of stuff. You get a lot of stuff, and it's good stuff. It's not, day old stuff that's going to expire the day after you get it. It's good stuff that'll last quite a while. So, but that way, just I will, hon. It's like and you didn't even when I sent you the message that I was back home, you hadn't even read the message I sent to you this morning when I left to go get plasma because it still said underneath of it, it said delivered. So you had never even read it before you read the one that I sent to you when I got back home. You hadn't even read what I sent to you this morning because you clicked on both of them. You hearted one, then you hearted the other. So you hadn't even read what I sent to you this morning until I got back home. You were too busy doing whatever else. I'm not important. Okay, hon, I'll let you go to sleep. I love you. Make sure that you don't leave that recording while you go to sleep. Now, I don't know whether you do or not, but hopefully you don't, because I know you'll be asleep, and I'm assuming you turn it off before you go to sleep. My camera, because I could be sitting here, doing something I shouldn't be doing, and not knowing the camera's still recording. So you got to make sure you shut it off before you go to sleep, just in case I'm doing something, or like I'm in my pants and certain stuff that it's still going to be like 4 hours before I leave, so I'll get into my shorts. My shorts are sitting back here, laying back here on my bed. So, I may be walking around in here with nothing on, and I don't want you to be recording that because you can't post it. If you post something like that, well, then there would go my YouTube channel. So, so yeah. So you gotta make sure you don't do that. So you gotta make sure before you go to bed or go to sleep that you stop the recording. Okay, honey. Just want to make sure that I'm not walking around in my birthday suit. Okay, sweetheart. You sleep well and sweet dreams, and I will talk to you probably in the morning before I go to work. Like I said, I get up at 6 and I start work at 7 tomorrow. And I got to pick Melanie up, so I'll be leaving about 25 till 7. But so I'm sure I'll talk to you in the morning before I go to work. Yes. You you're not sure about that. You don't know whether I'm going to talk to you in the morning or not, huh? Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. 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 Yeah. Okay, hon. Yeah. I keep forgetting it's 12:30 in the morning there. I keep forgetting that the time difference. I'm so used to us talking and just carrying on our conversations, and they, you know, got to get up in the morning and do whatever, go to work or whatever and stuff. So they're in bed sleeping. So okay, hon. Good night. Sweet dreams. When I go to bed later on, which won't be until like 9 o'clock tonight, which will be 9 a.m. for you, but so yep, I will, I will probably talk to you in the morning before I go to work. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3. Good night, sweetheart. I love you. I love you, sweetheart. I really, really do. I love you so, so much. Forever and ever and always. So you sleep well, sweetheart. Yeah. You don't dream about me. You dream about flying without wings. You know, I'm not in your dreams. You just dream about flying through the air. Yeah. Yeah. You don't dream about me. It's just, you're just floating through the air, you're thinking to stuff. Who was I supposed to think about, dream about? Oh, and he's not important. One time, I told you about the dream I had about you. I told you about that, a while back. But hon, I will let you go to sleep. I'm rocking you to sleep. Okay, sweetheart. You have a wonderful night and sleep well. And I will talk to you in the morning. Okay. Well, yep, yep. I hope so too, hon. I do. I really hope that we can both have, you know, regular dreams of each other until we can actually be physically together. And it'd be nice if we could have those kind of dreams every day. But I know we can't because it ain't like we can't predict. We can't say, okay, I want to dream, I want to dream, I want to dream. Dreams just happen when they happen. We have no control over when it happens. So, okay, okay, sweetheart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, nah. Oh well, you have your dreams about zombies. Yeah, that's just don't mean nothing to me. Yeah. No, you can't. You can't predict when you'll dream or what you would dream about. Nobody can actually make that prediction. It just happens when it happens. Yeah. 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 Okay, hon. Oh yeah. I did one time. Yeah. And usually and in my opinion, when you're dreaming of someone that's very important to you, it's probably because you really, really miss them. And that's just my opinion. That may not be the case, but in my that's how I look at it. Is when somebody, whether it's me dreaming about you or you dreaming about me, it's because we genuinely, truly miss that person that is so very important to them. That may not be the case, but that's how I look at a dream, especially if it's somebody like me dreaming about you. It's because I really, really miss you, and that's to me, that's like how I connect and how I have you so close to me at that point in time that because I genuinely do miss you. When we're not talking like this, I really, really miss you a lot. And even when we're doing the video calls and stuff, I still miss you. I mean, even though we're talking and I can we see each other, I still miss you because we have become so close that it's like we are we are hooked together with each other, and it's like when we're asleep, or like when I was gone to get plasma, or like I'm going, when I go to work or whatever, it's like we have been pulled apart, And even though in our hearts we're still together, but we can't see or talk to each other when we're, like, say, I'm at work or whatever and stuff, because we cannot communicate with each other. So a dream, in my opinion, keeps us connected, even though we're in each other's hearts all the time. It's you know you just mean so much to me, hon. You really, 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 really do. You mean so much to me. And what was that? Yeah, we will. I mean, like I said, we never know when a dream's going to happen, or we have no control over that. It just when it happens, it happens. So, yep. Okay, sweetheart, I'll let you go to sleep. So, yep. I love you, sweetheart. I really love you so, so, so much. Mm. Okay, sweetheart. You have a good and wonderful and restful night. Sleep well, and try not to be on your phone too long. I will. I will when I leave later on, which is like another 3.5 hours from now. But but I will be safe, and I will be at home later on. So I will talk to you in the morning before I go to work. So, and don't forget to turn my camera off before you go to sleep, because you know if I find out that you're recording me and you're asleep and I don't know it, I'm gonna be upset, because if I'm walking around here and it's recording, obviously you can't post that. So I mean, you can keep it for your own personal enjoyment, but but you just wouldn't be able to post it unless you cut that part out. Okay, hon. Night night, and I love you so so much. And I will talk to you in the morning. So night night for now, and and bye bye for now, and I'll talk to you later. So bye bye. Okay, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay.